So as a literacy advocate and an internationally renowned children and young adult author with a distinct, often ethical and moral message to young people, where do these three women sit in the evolution of Australian children's literature? And in what ways their lives and this book, are they relevant to young women writers today?
Well, I think these amazing women, you have to read this book. You will cry and you will laugh and you will cheer. You know, Dymphna Cusack suffered from multiple sclerosis. She lived a life of complete and utter agony. It was undiagnosed because we didn't have the medical skill. Mel Franklin had a shocking heart condition and she also lived in total agony. These women were greater than their illnesses. These extraordinary women. Florence James, no, she didn't have illness, just a normal one. But, sorry to say, just normal. But what's happened is, reading this book is essential for every young woman because they will understand what courage is, what having values outside social norms are. You know, Dymphna and Miles, they chose a single woman's life. Florence did get married and divorced because, of course, her husband, Pim, did the normal. He committed adultery and left her. But the bottom line is, why kids have to read this is at a time when it was such a conservative time. They were talking about abortion, rights over your over your body. They were talking about women's right to stand up for sexual abuse. They were complete Republicans at a time where Australia kowtowed in the most fawning manner to the British aristocracy. The incredible work, Pioneers on Parade, which Dymphna and Miles Franklin wrote together, was completely controversial. They satirised the Australians who couldn't think of anything more wonderful than to bow to a duke. Or, those sort of, I can only say, pretentious and snobbish sort of attitudes. Australia was in the 50s very colonial, and these women stood against that colonialism. And do you know what? When their book came out, half the people said it was a total disgrace. They panned them. They had the worst criticism. Well, yes, but half the people were laughing their head off. They thought it was the best satire. And what we saw these women doing, these three women, they were breaking the prejudices of the time. Now, these women had to survive as single women. They were so sick, especially Miles and Dymphna, and she taught at endless amounts of schools. And while she taught, she wrote plays and she wrote books and she advocated for peace. Look, one of the great controversies of the time is that these three women were very, very, they were supporting communism because it was a communism not of the like of Stalin. It was a communism which is more based on the, Israeli kibbutzes at that time, where people worked together for the betterment of society. And they fought with great passion. Their passports were threatened. The equivalent of today's ASIO followed them for the crimes that they were committing. But young people have to read this book. I've only read it once, and I do need to read it many times. Bits here, bits there. It's so inspiring. It makes me look at myself and feel that my battles aren't so hard. The other thing is, they give an insight into publishing which I had not read before in my life. I'm a published author, and I honestly thought that modern day publishing was a new and individual sort of experience where you experience rejection, humiliation, the impact of commercialism, all the other stuff. Forget it. These women, they had it 10 times harder. And they had to fight to the death for every book that came out. Come in Spinner, 5-year journey. And so much betrayal. But they were so strong. I've never seen such women. They're just, you have to read it. But on top of that, why young people and old have to read this is it gives you an enormous amount of humour. You get insight into the entire literary time. And, you know, we have great people we admire, but they tell the truth. I just got to read this one tiny bit out. It was so funny about Mary Gilmore. You know, Dame Mary Gilmore, I mean, we all admire her. We do. She's one of the, you know, goddesses of literature. Okay, watch what Miles says. Dear Dymphna, previous to going to the play, I dropped in on Mary Gilmore. I wonder how many people take her seriously. I'm afraid she has a wide circle of believers that is wholesome. I am no lover of Churchill, but she outdoes me in every direction. She said he killed a girl in the suffragette days, says he had Negro blood, says he has torn down the British Empire, brought it to 3rd place, not that she believes in great empires. Now, how many of you know that Dame Mary Gilmore is a nut? None of you. But let me tell you, all the way through the book, you'll find the dirt on Ruth Park. I mean, forget what you know. This is a book of enormous literary insight and gossip. It is so much fun. And I'm reading it and I'm laughing my head off. And I have a different view of all our great leaders. See how time changes history. That in itself is worth studying. That in itself. But one of the things that I have to say is the love between these women. It crossed oceans. I'm a writer. To co-write with someone else, believe me, is very similar to, not quite murder, but it does make you homicidal. Yeah. These women had such love and respect for each other's talents. They edited each other's work. They shared the writing journey. Coming Spinner is a masterpiece by 2 brilliant women. To read this is to teach us all the real generosity of writing. It teaches us all how to share the creative process to find truth. And Coming Spinner was so shocking at that time and so visionary for our time. This book brings it back, and it is time for all of us to read it. But the thing I just want to say, it also showed me enormous love and capacity for love. There was a young woman, Kay Keane, who Dymphna taught, and she became part of their group. She was such an extraordinary woman, and she wanted nothing for herself. And she married, a layabout, a pianist who was a gambler, a guy who slept with everything. Women. It wasn't like that. So he was one of those guys, and you can imagine her family damned him. And he should be damned. He was pretty bad.
He ended up good though.
But what happened is she got TB, and the treatment was horrific in this country. And she suffered, and she died in really terrible agony. What happened was, this man, it made him, he stood beside his wife, he told her that the 9 years he spent with her were the greatest years of love in his life. And you know, what I saw in this book with these letters is these women were beyond the conventions of sexuality. They didn't care about the, economic issue of marriage or whatever. They judged people for their action and their humanity. The piece in here where Kay King dies is one you must read. I cried and I've reread it and cried. It is the greatest love that women have for each other.
And the greatest attribute.
It was extraordinary. I can't commit. I could talk about this book forever,
But perhaps,
but I won't.
but perhaps we won't go on quite that long.
I am. I'm going to stop now. So you're right. But I cannot strongly enough commend it to you.